Woman's metal detecting unearths a wild treasure. As soon as Terese set foot onto this island an hour earlier, she knew something was off. People said not to go on the island, but Terese didn't care. The rumors didn't faze her. She knew she had to find whatever was buried, but time was running out. She takes a deep breath before digging deeper into the ground. Then, right there in front of her, Terese saw it. And a terrible feeling hit the pit of her stomach. Terese Refsgaard lived an ordinary life in an ordinary small Danish town. A budding archaeologist, Terese had a taste for adventure and uncovering lost treasures. But Terese had no idea what she was about to uncover when she set foot on an abandoned island 50 miles away from civilization. Terese's day job was as a dental assistant and she truly did love her job. Her colleagues were great and the job itself was enjoyable. But Terese also had another hobby. And it was a hobby that would end up changing her life completely. You see, by day Terese was a dental assistant, but in her spare time, she was an amateur archaeologist. Armed with her metal detector, she loved nothing more than uncovering lost relics in the Danish countryside. Whether she was hiking up hills or rummaging through a forest, Terese was always prepared for her adventure and wherever it would take her. But nothing could have prepared Terese for this. With the more time Terese spent out in the Danish fields, this budding adventurer received an invitation to join a group of fellow archaeologists. She jumped at the chance to join the group. But she had no idea what was coming to her. The following November Terese was invited to go out with a team to search the island of Jarno, located near mainland Denmark. But there were rumors about this island, rumors that would leave a shiver up your spine. You see, many townspeople said this island was haunted. Some claimed a woman and her baby had disappeared on the island, while others claimed to have seen a woman standing on the island and waving. But they were just rumors, right? Terese never paid them much attention, but little did she know she should have. Terese and her group of fellow adventurers arrived at the island, bursting with excitement. They breathed in the fresh air before splitting up in separate directions to cover more of the island. They thought it was just going to be an ordinary day, but they had no idea how wrong they were. The group spent hours sweeping their metal detector across the dirty soil of the island. They were determined to find something, but unfortunately, it wasn't going too well. Then suddenly, Terese heard beeping. Terese knew she had to be quick. She quickly hid her shovel in the ground and started to dig. What had she found? She wiped the sweat from her forehead as she put all her effort into uncovering whatever was buried in the ground. She had no idea what she was about to discover. For as long as she could remember, Terese had always been fascinated with archaeology. Since she was a little girl, she loved nothing more than looking around her backyard for hidden treasures. Her grandfather had bought her a metal detector for her 12th birthday, and the two spent their entire weekends in the Danish countryside. But in all her years of uncovering relics, Terese had never uncovered something like this. With all the expeditions Terese had been a part of, she knew a beep from the ground could mean absolutely nothing. But still, on this mysterious island of Jarno, Terese was hopeful she was about to find something good. But she was never prepared for what was about to happen. After hearing the beeping, Terese had been digging for a good 10 minutes and was about to give up when she saw something in the ground that made her heart stop. She carefully examined the soil before tossing it aside. She had a good feeling, so she kept digging and digging. She had no idea what she was about to uncover. Terese jumped up with joy the moment she realized she had found a metal fragment. It looked like gold, but it was too early to tell. She carried on digging and lo and behold, she unearthed more metal objects completely intact. But what were they exactly? She yells out for help and her team runs over. The team was speechless. Taking a closer look, they realized these objects were actually gold. The objects were from the 6th century, but why were they here and who exactly buried them? Terese and her team knew they needed to find out the truth. So they brought in a pro, but what he told Terese left her dropping to her knees. Terese frantically called up expert Mads Raven, a researcher from the Museum, in hopes he could shed some light on these artifacts. After analyzing them, he concluded that they are of Roman origin. But why were they hidden? Supposedly, in relation to historical records, these gold pieces were created just when a major disaster took place thousands of years ago. It was a cataclysmic volcanic that erupted and killed over 100,000 people. Despite this, nobody knew anything about this disaster. But why? Nobody in Europe knew anything about the volcano eruption. The reason why? Well, because it took place thousands of miles away over in El Salvador. But the effects of the tragic volcano spread all the way over to Europe, where the strange weather ruined the harvest. Europeans thought it was the gods punishing them. Because of this, Terese finally had an idea of why they buried their treasure. With the help of her team and experts, Terese was able to conclude that the Danish people on the island may have buried their treasures as a peace offering for their strange weather they endured. But these treasures were no longer buried deep in the ground. After uncovering the objects, 2 museums in Denmark were eager to display Terese's mouth-dropping find. She's also helping their staff find and discover more mysteries behind the artifacts. We're sure we haven't heard the last from this budding adventurer yet.